Welcome to the AAC Report only on the Nightline Sports Network. I'm Jeff Allen. Thank you for listening. It's been a little while since we've been with you for the AAC Report, little summer hiatus. But now, with the hopeful impending return of college football, we should be back on a more regular basis. And why we are back? Well, first, today, the Amway Coaches Poll has been released, and 2 American Athletic Conference teams have made the initial top 25. The UCF Knights coming in at number 21, and right behind them in the 22nd slot, the Bearcats of Cincinnati. And the American Athletic Conference Board of Directors. They have announced the conference's plan and timeline for the start of athletics competition for the fall 2020 season. We will break all that down for you right after this.
An auto accident can change your life forever. At Chadbar Law, we are raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Hi, I'm Chad Barr, and I want you to know that our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the representation you deserve in your greatest time of need. If you or a loved one have been injured in an auto accident, call 407-599-9036 for a free consultation or visit chadbarlaw.com. At Chadbar Law, our clients come to us in need and leave as family. Offices, Altamont Springs.
Hey, this is Travis Dever, Kai's Real Estate, the Dever team, New Smyrna Beach. Your source for real estate and everything else, New Smyrna Beach. Proud sponsor of Nightline. Call me anytime at 386-690-1636. That's 386-690-1636. Let me show you my hometown, New Smyrna Beach, UCF's favorite beach. Go Knights and charge on.
As we continue on the AAC Report, the Board of Directors announcing the conference's plan and timeline for the fall 2020 season. Approval unanimous after consultation with the conference's COVID-19 Medical Advisory Group, athletic directors, and senior female administrators. The plan calls for regular season interconference competition in football, men's soccer, and women's volleyball, capped by conference championship events in those sports, as well as men's and women's cross country. The American's 12-member schools will be able to schedule non-conference competitions in fall sports at their discretion, but under the guidelines and protocols set up by the Medical Advisory Group, and the number of qualifying teams for conference championships in men's soccer, and women's volleyball have been reduced to 4. The health and safety of our student athletes is top priority as we face the challenges of the current global pandemic, said AAC Conference Commissioner Mike Oresco. With the guidance and advisory of our Medical Advisory Group, which has done an outstanding job developing health and safety protocols, we have developed a collaborative and comprehensive plan that will allow us safely and reasonably to play for our fall sports. Our plan provides us with the flexibility to adapt to potential disruptions to our schedules. Commissioner Oresco went on to say that he wanted to thank the Board of Directors, the Medical Advisory Group, athletic directors, senior women administrators, and conference office staff for their thoughtful input and approach to what will be one of the most challenging situations the conference will face. So let's break it down for you, sport by sport. In football, the plan calls for conference competition to begin September 19th for each of the American teams to play 8 conference games on their original scheduled dates. Non-conference games may be played at the discretion of individual schools with the understanding that the opponents must strictly adhere to protocols and standards for testing, pregame, in-game, and postgame operations set by the Americans Medical Advisory Group. Depending on the need to potentially reschedule regular season games, the American Football Conference Championship will be played either December 5th, 12th, or 19th at the stadium of the regular season champion, and a decision regarding the date of the championship game will be made no earlier than November 1st. And again, the schools can schedule up to 4 out-of-conference games, which is challenging depending on what games they had scheduled already out of conference, with conferences that are either going strictly conference game or conference plus 1 out of conference. UCF has managed to salvage their game with Georgia Tech, but they did lose their home game against North Carolina. Temple and Miami, that game in the Manny Diaz Bowl will not happen this year, but the schools have agreed to reschedule that for a future date. And Navy, which had hoped to host Notre Dame to start the season on September 5th, is now lost that game as Notre Dame went all in with the AAC, and with their one out-of-conference game, they have decided to shelve their game against the Midshipmen. Will be the first time they have not played since 1927. However, as we record the podcast, we have breaking scheduling news. So with Notre Dame off the table, BYU has announced that they will open the 2020 season on Labor Day at Navy on ESPN at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and that will be part of a two-game series with the Midshipmen. The returning game in Provo will be at an undetermined future date, so Navy, with the loss of Notre Dame, picks up independent BYU in its place. Not bad at all. Looking at other sports, cross-country institutions can schedule regular cross-country competitions at their discretion on or after September 1st. The American Men's and Women's Cross-Country Championships are scheduled for Saturday, October 31st at 4 Mile Creek Resort in Augusta, Kansas. Men's soccer, the American six men's soccer teams will play a 10-match double round-robin schedule of conference matches. Those conference matches will be played on Saturdays beginning September 5th, but may be moved to Friday or Sunday if there is a conflict with home football games. Midweek matches against non-conference opponents may be scheduled on or after September 1st only if the opponent meets the standards and testing guidelines set forth by the AAC's Medical Advisory Group. Midweek matches may not be scheduled if an institution would have to utilize air travel and or an overnight hotel stay. The 2020 American Men's Soccer Championship will be held either November 12th and 14th or November 13th and 15th at the site of the number one seed based on regular season standings. In the event that the number one seed is unable to host the championship due to travel restrictions or state or local regulations, the site will be at the campus of the next highest seed. In women's soccer, the nine women's soccer teams will play an 8-match single round-robin schedule of conference matches. Conference matches will be played on Sundays beginning September 6th. Midweek matches against non-conference opponents may be scheduled on or after September 1st, but again, only if they meet the standard and testing protocols set forth by the Americans Medical Advisory Group. And they may not be scheduled if an institution would have to utilize air travel and or an overnight hotel stay. The 2020 American Women's Soccer Championship will be held November 6th and 8th at the site of the number one seed based on regular season standings, and again, as the same in men's soccer. In the event the number one seed unable to host due to travel restrictions or state and local regulations, the site will be at the campus of the next highest seed. Women's volleyball, the American will feature a two-division format in which each team will play the other teams in its division twice at the same site. The East Division will consist of UCF, Cincinnati, East Carolina, Temple, and South Florida. The West Division will include Houston, Memphis, SMU, Tulane, Tulsa, and Wichita State. Conference play will begin during the September 24th through 27th weekend and will conclude the weekend of November 12th through the 15th. Conference matches may be scheduled between Thursday and Sunday. 3 weekends will be available for non-conference opportunities on or after September 1st. The 2020 American Women's Volleyball Championship will be held November 21st and 22nd at Fifth Third Arena on the campus of the University of Cincinnati. The top two teams from each division, based on regular season standings, will qualify for the championship. And in other sports decisions regarding the fall 2020 competition in the sports of baseball, softball, women's lacrosse, women's rowing, men's and women's golf, men's and women's tennis will be announced at a later date. Decisions for potential modification to the Americans' winter sports, basketball, swimming and diving, indoor and track and field, will also be announced at a later date. The Americans' health and safety protocols developed by its medical advisory group will be also announced at a later date and will continue to meet regarding protocols for the safe return of fall competition. Other news and notes from around the AAC coming up next when the AAC Report continues right after this.
Night Nation, this is Adam, one half of the dynamic duo that is the Sons of UCF, which is found only on the Nightline Sports Network. Join UCF Mike and I each week as we bring you some of the latest from in and around UCF sports, including such great segments as the Josh Heupel Translator, Top 8 Lists, and Cow of the Week. We'll also bring you some of the most in-depth and unique interviews with some of your favorite former Knights. You don't want to miss a moment, so make sure you subscribe to the Nightline Sports Network wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll take care of the rest. Go Knights. Charge on.
Hello, Night Nation. This is Andrew Fagley reminding you to tune in every Tuesday night, 9 to 10 p.m. on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, plus the WDBO app for Nightline at Night. Brought to you by Chad Bar Law. We'll be taking your calls and your texts reacting to the previous week's UCF sports action, and you never know who will show up. Once again, that's Nightline at Night, every Tuesday, 9 to 10 p.m. on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, plus the WDBO app. Go Knights and charge on.
Time now to check some other AAC news and notes. 2 track and field student athletes representing the AAC were named to the 2020 COSITA Academic All-America third team selections, the College Sports Information Directors of America announced back in late June. Memphis senior thrower Adam Neely and Temple senior runner Millie Howard each earned COSITA Academic All-America honors for the first time in their respective careers. The 16 total academic All-Americans representing the American during the 2019-2020 academic year across the 12 award categories equaled a single-season best for the conference since forming in 2013. The volleyball head coaches who comprised the AAC membership have combined to sponsor a diversity award candidate in conjunction with the American Volleyball Coaches Association. All 11 coaches from the American are putting forth a collective $1,000 donation as part of the 2020 AFCA Diversity Awards program, which provides the opportunity for up-and-coming ethnic minority volleyball coaches to attend the annual AVCA convention. The contribution will directly benefit a former volleyball student athlete from the American pursuing a career in volleyball coaching. Former East Carolina baseball player Alec Burleson and Tulsa cross-country standout Caitlin Loeffler have been chosen as the 2019-20 American Athletic Conference Scholar Athletes of the Year as chosen by the conference's faculty athletics representatives. Burleson, who was chosen as the American's Male Scholar Athlete of the Year, and Kloffler, the American's Female Scholar Athlete of the Year, will each receive a $4,000 postgraduate financial scholarship. Burleson and Klopfer were chosen from a group of 24 individual sports scholar athletes of the year who received $2,000 postgraduate scholarships. Burleson was a first-team All-American selection by Collegiate Baseball and tabbed as a first-team COSITA Academic All-American selection after the shortened 2020 season. He was the preseason choice as the Americans Player of the Year after he was chosen to 5 All-American teams in 2019. He was selected by the St. Louis Cardinals in the second round of the 2020 Major League Baseball first-year player draft. And he graduates from East Carolina with a 3.95 grade point average as a management major and becomes the second ECU baseball player to be named as the American's Male Scholar Athlete of the Year, following former teammate Jake Agnos, who was chosen in 2019. Klopfer earned American Female Scholar Athlete of the Year honors after she placed third at the 2019 AAC Cross Country Championship, leading the Golden Hurricane to the team title. She went on to take a team best 5th individually at the 2019 NCAA Midwest Region Championship and was the team's top individual as Tulsa scored a program best 25th place finish at the NCAA Championships. Klopfer graduated from Tulsa with a 3.948 grade point average as a chemical engineering major, and she's the first Tulsa student athlete to be chosen as the American's Female Scholar Athlete of the Year. And by the way, all these announcements from the AAC have come from their newly minted headquarters in Irving, Texas. The league completed their transition move from the Providence, Rhode Island location back in mid-July. And that's going to do it for this edition of the AAC Report, only on the Nightline Sports Network. I'm Jeff Allen. Stay safe and stay well.